Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we are going to glitter a plate, sort of. I have some glitter vinyl that I purchased from expressionsvinyl.com, and I have a plate I purchased from Walmart, and I want to use it in my home, but it doesn't have any wording on it, and I thought it needed something, so we're going to do that together. Now, I have told you before about Miss Kate Cuttables, and I'm going to use another one of her images today. I really like it, and I went ahead and purchased it. It was like 99 cents, so we're going to upload the image that I purchased. If you're interested in Miss Kate's stuff, I'll link all that below and link all the videos I've done using her stuff before to show you how to use it. For now, we're going to go upload an image. So I've gone to upload image. I'm going to browse my download, so I'm going to click on downloads, and then it will bring me up to this section, which are the ones that I'm looking for. These are the SVGs, and that's what I want to bring in. Now, Miss Kate Cuttables come in PDF, JPEG, and SVG, but this is the one I want. Now, I have some other little images that came along with this one because there were a lot of images for 99 cents. But see this little Merry Christmas? That's what I want. I want to put Merry Christmas on my plate. So I thought I would show you guys how to do it, because this is a neat little idea for a gift too. If you wanted to just buy some Dollar Tree plates and maybe put cookies for Santa or something like that. I just named this Merry Christmas, so in the future I'll be able to get to it super easy. So here we go. This is not hard at all, and it's going to go kind of quick. The biggest thing is I want to show you using that the glitter. All right, so I'm going to insert this image into my project. Now, it's way too big for what I want, but I want to make this clear. If you want to layer all of these pieces on top of each other, you have to resize them all at the same time. So for example, if I wanted to shrink this down to say 5 inches, I would just grab it and shrink it until it fit into, this is how I would do it because I'm kind of a cheater like this. I would count 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would shrink this into that spot, those 5 inches there, and then I would cut this out so all these pieces would layer the same. Now at this point, these 3 images are grouped together, and I don't want them grouped together, and the reason I don't want them grouped together is because I only want to use the Merry Christmas word. So I'm going to come over here to the bottom of the layers panel and click ungroup, and that makes them all separate. Now before I go crazy moving things around, let's do a couple things first. I don't need this layer, but I don't want to delete this layer, because should I decide to use this on a Christmas card later and maybe want to cut this in paper and I want to use these guys later, I don't want to have to re-upload it. So I'm just going to head over here to the layers panel and just turn the eyeball off. So basically just close its eye and it goes away. So let's do another one with this layer. So now if I want to use those, they're here and I don't have to go reload something that I've deleted. The next thing is, I like the way this is set together. I don't want to pull this word apart from this word. Let me show you what happens. If I grab it now, I actually get Christmas by itself because I ungrouped everything. Let me undo that. I want to go ahead and lock these guys together. So all I'm going to do is with Christmas selected, hold down my shift button and click Merry. And now I'm going to tell this to group. So I can go right back down here and click group. Now anything I do to these will work at the same time. So like if I resize them, they'll both resize together. Now this may be the size I need. Let me go to the edit panel. It's pretty close. I need this to be about 5.5 inches. So I'm just going to put in 5.5, and I can make it taller, but I don't want to distort it too much. So I'm going to try to make it taller by unlocking these proportion key right here. Just click the unlock, and I'm just going to drag it a little bit because I've got more height space. I don't have as much width space. So I don't want to go too crazy because I don't want it to look too distorted. I kind of like that. That looks okay. Now before we go and cut this, we have one more thing we need to do. If we were to go right now to the mat to cut this, we would get this on 2 different mats because it's in 2 different colors. And also because even though I've grouped these pieces together, they're not attached to each other so that they stay together. So what we'll do is we'll leave this selected, we'll head to our layers panel and we'll click attach. Now by doing that, notice that the colors went together, they stayed the same color, or they turned the same color. Now they will be cut in the same shape. That way when we go to our mats, we don't get them on 2 separate mats. I hope that makes sense. Let's go to go, and I'll show you. See how this is laid out exactly how I want it to be on my plate? So now we're in good shape. Had I left it without attaching it, this Christmas word would have been up here even if we put them in the same color family. So you want to make sure you attach things when you want them to cut in a certain way. All right, we're using a 12 by 12. I do not have an iron on. This is glitter vinyl, so we are ready to go. So now we're at the Cricut Explore Air, and the cool thing about the Cricut, and I guess any machine works this way, but I kind of keep it where I can use it anywhere in the house. And with it being wireless, because the Cricut Explorer Air has the built-in wireless, I just have my computer here, plug this into the wall, and we can get started. This is the plate that we're going to be decorating today. It's kind of cool to finally get to see the plate. And I want to show you the products I'm going to use. This is glitter vinyl, so it's sticky back glitter vinyl that I got from expressionsvinyl.com. I'll put a link below to them. And this is the transfer tape I like to use. I also get this from Expressions Vinyl. You could use whatever your favorite transfer tape is. If you like the clear contact paper, go right ahead. If you like the Cricut version that has the grid on it, you can use that. This is my favorite. I've tried the others. This is the one I like. It's a little more expensive, but for me, it gets the job done really, really well. I'm also going to use my trusty brayer today. I love this guy for getting vinyl down, and we're ready to get started. Now at this point, we're going to tell the machine that we're ready to cut. So I'm going to click the button that says go. And by doing that, it will take us to the actual cutting screen. You can see I've already loaded my glitter material to my mat and I brayered it down. See that little bubble right there? I'm going to brayer that a little bit more just in case. But my mat is not perfectly clean, so I'm getting some bubbles, but we'll see how it does. The Cricut is ready for me to load. Click the little up arrow that's flashing. Usually when it's time for you to do something, your buttons are going to flash, so it kind of helps you to know. So now the machine is registering. I have set my dial to vinyl right here, and it's ready to cut. That's one thing I really love about the Cricut Explorer editions is the dial. You don't have to know the pressure or know the speed that you need to cut it at. You just set the dial and go. It's one of my favorite things. So now we're just going to let this dude cut out, and then we'll put it on the plate. So the Cricut is all done cutting, and I'm going to unload it. Now I'm going to remove the whole vinyl from my mat before I cut this out to weed it. So I'm just going to peel this off of the mat altogether. So the backer and everything comes with it. Now even though I loaded that huge piece of glitter on there, this is all I really used. So now we just need to weed these two away. And the way you're going to do that, one thing I suggest first is kind of take your brayer and run over it just to make sure everything's stuck down really well. And then in one of the corners of the page, you start removing the glitter you don't need. I think they call that the negative space. Start removing that portion. Now when you do this, I was taught this by someone who's done this for a living before. Hold the piece flat and hold the glitter paper that you're pulling away flat. And when you do this, it comes away so super easy. Do you see how this is doing? So easy. Any piece that is connected together will just remove for you instantly. You want to just pull slow and carefully. I always take probably more time than I need to with this because it's easier to just take my time now and get it right than to have to piece these pieces together later. Now we're going to weed out these extra little pieces that are kind of in the center, and you really need a weeding tool for this. And I do have one, but I left it in my craft room, and so now I'm just being lazy. And I'm just pulling this away with just a pick I have in my kitchen. So now I have everything weeded out, and I know that was really hard because I was on a weird angle in the camera, so I cut some of that out because you couldn't see it. But it's real simple. This one works really, really easy to pull away. So now we just need our transfer tape. So this is the transfer tape I showed you earlier, but I just cut a piece off big enough for this project we're doing now. And this is the one I love. Now I do a lot of vinyl for cars, like for my son's car, my husband's truck, and I really like the clear of this one and how sticky it gets. I've tried using the cheaper versions like the contact paper and stuff like that, and it just does not work as well for me. Now, you can see a mistake I made on this one. I didn't cut my transfer tape quite long enough, so I just cut another piece to put on top. No panicking, you can always fix things. I'm just going to stick that down so I get everything all at one shot. Now, before I peel this away from its release paper, I brayer it again. The brayer is my favorite tool, especially when doing vinyl. My kids will tell you I brayer and brayer and brayer, and it gets all those air bubbles out. Okay, we're ready for the plate. Now then, we want to remove the transfer tape along with our vinyl piece, just like so. What this does is it exposes the sticky part of our vinyl now and keeps it all together so that this part is super easy. Now just place it on your plate where you'd like it to be. And yes, brayer. That's what I do. I love my brayer. That was super easy, wasn't it?
What a great gift this would make. This is going to be really perfect for where I want it on my wall. I'm actually putting this plate into a plate stand or a plate holder, and I think it's going to be perfect. All right, now we'll peel away the transfer tape. Again, hold it flat and pull it like I'm pushing the transfer tape down onto the plate, and I'm just pulling it flat away. Take your time. It's better to take your time than to have to fix something. I'm kind of doing a little wiggle motion just to kind of keep it going. Get everything stuck down to the plate. I did clean the plate first with a little bit of Windex just to make sure there were no greasy fingerprints or anything that would keep everything from sticking. Holding my breath that I get this right because I've kind of lifted up now. That's the piece that I messed up on, but we're good. Now, you can reuse this, okay? If you hold on to the piece that you peeled it off of, you can reuse it. And when you're done with if you've used all the sticky off of this clear backer makes great acetate for cards and shaker card projects. Okay, now, one last thing, brayer. I always brayer at the end just to make sure everything's down good. And there you go. Look at that cool plate we made. I love it. This plate was really inexpensive, and you can make these for presents and maybe put, you know, cookies for Santa or anything on there. Of course, you couldn't eat off of the plate. It becomes a decorative plate at this point, but how cute. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you learned something new about your Cricut and how to use more of Miss Kate Cuttables, which I'm addicted to, by the way. I love her site. So thanks so much. I will see you guys on Friday. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.